this road is supposed to lead. We got nothing but time. As long as you're right here next to me, everything's gonna be alright. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. So won't you ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be.
Hi, my warriors. I am coming to you with Let's Talk About It. We're going to talk about how serious things are going on in today's society. Yesterday, or should I say today, you probably saw my video about the seafood lobster mac and cheese. Okay, so yesterday when I cooked it, I had to go out and get a few more things to complete the meal. So I ended up going to Dollar Tree to get a pan to put it in, the throwaway pans. So, I looked at Walmart, it was $3.98, and the Dollar Tree was $1 for two. So I decided to pick it up. Thank goodness I found it. Place was a mess, wasn't nothing really there because it was empty shelves. But I found it. So while me and my boyfriend was waiting in line, there was a lady with a child in front of me in a buggy. And the child was holding, it was a Spider-Man balloon. That's what caught my attention. I'm like, to myself, what a little girl want with a Spider-Man balloon? So what I ended up noticing was she was holding the balloon in her hand and the string was in her mouth. Okay? This is an example of the balloon right about here. So this string was in her mouth. She's slobbing on it and everything else. So I tried to get my boyfriend's attention, give him them little eye movements to, that's what you're supposed to be looking at, but you can't whisper it to him because he does not whisper. His whisper is a regular talk. So everybody gonna hear it. So when he finally caught on to what was going on, I just thought for sure, okay, maybe the lady's going to buy the balloon. But still, I'm saying to myself, she do not need that string in her mouth. Period, point blank. So when it came down to, it was her time at the register, the lady asked, are you going to get the balloon too? She said no. So she told her daughter, let that balloon go. So the little girl let the balloon go. Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, she had the balloon in her hand, in her mouth. How many other kids had that same balloon in their hands, the string in their mouth? Now, this is where it becomes crazy. We are already in a crisis situation. And they're saying you need to wash your hands. You need to cover up your, facial area. And if you wear contacts, switch to the glasses, which I did. So my thing is, you mean to tell me that you so into whatever you're doing, you wasn't paying your child attention to see that child had that balloon string in her mouth? And who knows how many other children had that same balloon string in their mouth? Now, it takes me back to I used to go to church, still go, but it's been closed. But we're going to go back to when I had little kids and I used to take them to church. I used to tell my kids straight up, you know, we're going to go into church. And my son's nickname is Marcus. I'll say, okay, Marcus, I know you're going to show out when you get into church because you're going to have an attitude because you want to sleep. So let me go ahead and give you a spanking now and get it out the way because you're already going to show out. So let me go ahead and give you your pre-beating. That's how serious it is. You have to go ahead and tear him up ahead of time so that when he got in church, he laid his little head down. He went to sleep because we didn't come for Sabbath school, Sunday school. We came for divine worship, 11 o'clock hour. So I remember one time my kids, they tried to show out on me. So you got my little girl who was maybe 2 years old, and then you had him, which was 4. I think he was around 4, between 3 and 4. So they were cutting up. And I mean, when I said they were showing out, I just wanted to just tear their behind up in church, but I couldn't. So a friend of mine was sitting behind me, him and his wife, and he was like, let me bail her out. Let me bail her out. So he ended up taking my daughter and he was, playing with her throughout the service, quietly. And then my son kind of like calmed down a little bit. Then he finally went to sleep. So sometimes, like I say, it takes a village to raise a child. Okay? We're going to go back to the store now. Okay. The lady looked me in my eyes when she was leaving because she know I saw it. So as I go up to the register, I tells the cashier, I said, listen, you might want to take that balloon and, get it out the way because that little girl in front of me had it in her mouth. So the lady behind me grabbed the balloon and pushed it forward, and then the cashier busted. So I was like, ma'am, you might want to wash your hands like right now, as soon as you get home, however the case may be. So the cashier gave her sanitizer to wash her hands with. Okay. One thing about me, I had kids, and I told them, when we go in this store, you better look and don't touch. Right now, guys, we're going through a lot here. We're losing a lot of people. So my thing is, y'all need to tell them kids, you better look and don't touch. Or you need to tell them you're going to keep your behind at home because you're not going with me. This is serious, guys. I'm looking at this lady like, she may go home, and the next thing you know, her child gets sick, and she's trying to figure out how my baby got sick. What happened? What did I do wrong? What you did wrong, you were so into what you was doing, you wasn't paying your child attention. I know you saw that little girl with that balloon in her hand. You should have popped her hand right then and there. Okay? Tear that up sometimes. Don't worry about where you're at. Just straighten them out. Because this could be to the point where that child could get really sick because you don't know who touched it. You don't know if they was ill. You don't know anything. That's how kids go to the daycares and they come home sick because they touching everything everybody else done touched. And that's how they become sick. Parents, y'all have to watch these kids like a hawk right about now. And sometimes you just may need to leave them at home. Because if they can't look and not touch, then they don't need to be there. And I'm coming to y'all with this because it touched me seriously. What if that poor innocent child couldn't have been, but she had to be between 4 and 6. This could have been the end because of her just putting that in her mouth. Now, no, I don't barely wear the face mask. No, I don't wear gloves. But I have plenty of hand sanitizer with me. And trust and believe, I'm going to be getting sick off hand sanitizer. Because I have it all over my face. If something touch me, I rub it on my face right then. Because that sanitizer, from what I was told, it kills it on the spot. So we have to take control of these kids and pay more close attention to them when you know there's a situation going on. You know, they don't really want that many people in the store anyway because we have to be 6 feet apart. But how are we going to do that, you know, when there's so many people in the store? So, guys, if you can leave these kids home, leave them home with somebody else that's home. Because we really don't need to be bringing them in the store anyway because they want to touch this, want to touch that. Trust me, we were kids once. We did the same thing, but a lot of our parents sit up here and say, go in that store and touch it if you want to and see how I tear that ass up while you in the store. That's the problem. Take control of your kids, guys. Make sure they're safe because you done went through all these years with this child. And for you, a woman is pregnant with a baby. She have a miscarriage. Her heart is touched. She's hurting because she lost something that she started loving. Okay? So imagine losing your child. They always say, I used to hear older people say, my child's supposed to bury me, not me bury my child. So everybody needs to take control and pay more attention to the surroundings because this epidemic is crazy. We do not know how it's going to end, when it's going to end, if it's going to end. We don't know. But we can control a lot of things by making sure our kids are not putting their hands on everything. What she should have had was gloves on her hands. And if she would have had that thing wrapped around her nose and her mouth, then it wouldn't have never touched her mouth. That would have put her in a safer mode than the mode that she was in. Because she had nothing on her hands. And she had nothing to cover her mouth. So I'm coming to you all today with let's talk about it. Because this was something that needed to be talked about. So if you would like to see more videos, may not be this hard of a topic, but because this is what I saw and what I feel y'all need to know, thumbs it up. If you are not a subscriber of the warrior Mz.TreZena's team, click the notification button, click the subscribe button, click all the buttons to be notified and become a warrior and show your love that, hey, thumbs that up because everybody needs to know about it. Share this video because there may be someone who needs to hear this video just so that they'll know that other people are looking out for them as well as, you know, seeing exactly what they're seeing. Because who knows what could happen. Now, in my heart, I pray that nothing happens to that little girl. But if something does, this is going to show reality of how this situation is not what we think it is. It is worse than we think it is. So, again, I want to say thanks for watching. Until we see each other again, later.